Hello dear students, we are back again with another lesson in history for you, the age of Guptas. From this part we have the syllabus as sources, the accounts of Fahian and the Allahabad pillar inscriptions. We have the political history, the administration of Samudragupta and Chandragupta, and their contribution in the field of education, science and culture. In the part of introduction, the Gupta period was one of the strongest period in the Indian history. It's known as the Golden Age. Came after the Mauryan Empire. After the decline of Mauryan Empire, several small kingdoms dotted in the political map of India, especially in the North India. Several kingdoms of foreign origin were there, like that of the Kushanas, the Sakas and all. However, it was the emergence of the Guptas in and around 320 AD. The first of the strong Gupta ruler was Chandragupta I, came with a large empire in the year 319 and 20. But prior to this, there was a Gupta ruler who is the founder of the Gupta empire, was Sri Gupta. Sri Gupta was the founder of the Gupta empire, but it is considered that Chandragupta I as the founder because he contributed a lot to the combination of a smaller part of the kingdoms to make it a large empire. It was with the emergence of the Guptas around 320 AD that North India could witness political unity. Probably the small kingdoms got united, and then the Gupta rulers spread their sway into the neighboring regions as well. Though in terms the size was smaller than the Mauryans, yet the Guptas kept the North India politically united for over more than a century, because it began in 320, then till 540 they were the rulers. So it is more than 2 centuries. The period from 320 to 540 AD is known as the Imperial Age because of the Gupta Empire. The Guptas had started the Imperial Age. It kept the North India politically united for more than a century. It is more than 2 centuries. This period is known as the Classical Age. The Gupta Age is known as the Classical Age or the Golden Age in Indian history. It is also known as the Age of Brahmanical Renaissance. A rebirth or change occurred in the Brahmanical society. Many wrong practices were there that were corrected during the period. So this is introduction. As a part of source, we will study number 1, the accounts of Fahian. Fahian was a Chinese pilgrim who visited India with a religious mission during the reign of Chandragupta II. When we are learning 3 important Gupta rulers, Chandragupta I, next Samudragupta, then comes Chandragupta II. During the period of Chandragupta II, Fahian visited India, and he had written a vivid account about the cities and the empire administration. The cities that Fahian visited were Mathura, Kannauj, Kapilavastu. He also visited Kushinagar, Vaisali, Pataliputra, Kasi and Rajagriha. When he toured across, he saw many things that he wrote in his account, known as the Fahian's account, and he mentioned in his account that Magadha as a prosperous country. The capital Pataliputra was a flourishing city. People were wealthy and led simple lives. Basically, they were Buddhists. Vaishnavism, Shaivism, Buddhism and Jainism were the religions practiced during the period. Hindu gods and goddesses were depicted on the coins that they used. The penal code was there for the kind of punishment as we have penal code for the police and law to give punishment to the people who do wrong. A penal code was there during the Gupta rule, but they were mild. They were not very strong, or strong punishment was not given. For any kind of offenses, people were punished by fines only. They were asked to pay fine for their wrong actions. That is all about Fahian, the Chinese visitor's account. Next comes the Allahabad Pillar inscription. The Allahabad Pillar inscription is an important epigraphic evidence of the Gupta age, written by Hari Sena. He was the court poet of the Gupta ruler to second important Gupta ruler, Samudragupta. Samudragupta was a great warrior and conqueror, conquered many territories. He conquered 12 states in the Dakshinapatha, that is in the southern part of our country. He defeated the 8 kings of the Aryavarta. The rulers of forest states were also under him. Many tribal republics were also under him. He conquered many of the territories but allowed most of them to be ruled independently. That is all have been mentioned in the Allahabad Pillar inscription. The Allahabad Pillar inscription is also known as Prayaga Prashasti. This describes the reign of Gupta rulers and provides the list of kings and the tribal republics conquered by Samudragupta. What is Allahabad Pillar inscription? A pillar in which inscriptions are made about the ruling of the Guptas and how Gupta ruler Samudragupta conquered the territories is described or inscribed on them. The inscription on the Allahabad Pillar also indicates the political geography, the division of the kingdoms in India and the rulers of different kingdoms coming to be a part of the Gupta Empire. The Gupta ruling was one of the greatest in Indian history, as the part of first Gupta strong ruler or emperor we will learn, Chandragupta I, who occupied the throne in 320 AD and is also considered as the founder of the Gupta Empire. Till then, keep learning, stay home, stay safe, stay happy. Bye-bye.